What's going on, everybody? Coach Pat here, bringing you that energy through health, through fitness, through wellness, every avenue along those lines. I'm bringing you that energy within those fashions, all right? And today, we're going to be talking about 75 hard. If you've never heard of 75 hard before, or maybe you have heard about it and you've been thinking about seeing if you have what it takes to finish it, to go all the way through, I'm going to give my experiences. And we're going to talk a little bit about it today. We're going to go over all the tasks that you have to do every single day. We're going to go through some of the barriers that you're going to face. We're going to talk about, and excuse my French, your boss voice versus your bitch voice. Those of you who are watching, I'm sorry I cursed, I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about all those things within 75 hard, what I thought about it, and what you should do if you're thinking about taking a crack at it. So, to start off, just in case you've never heard of 75 Hard before, this is a program created by Andy Frisella, very successful businessman, very successful entrepreneur. He owns a whole bunch of different companies. Some of them you probably have heard of before, but he created this program, and this is a mental toughness program. I know a lot of people out there who have done this or who have tried it out before. They consider it a weight loss transformation program. Yes, you will see results physically to your body, but this is more than just a weight loss program or weight loss transformation, muscle gain. It's more than that. That's just a byproduct of everything else that you're getting with this program. All right, this program is 75 days straight. So this includes Monday, this includes Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and oh yeah, Sunday as well. All week, all day, you have tasks that you have to get every single day. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no exceptions. You have to check them off every single day. And if you do not check them off, if you do not complete the task, it doesn't matter if you're on day 74. If you do not complete those tasks, you have to start over at day 1. And let me tell y'all, man, the experience was crazy. It was just an eye-opener for a lot of things about myself, about life, the way I see the world. It was just a complete experience, man. I'm gonna go over every single thing with you guys today. So let's start out with the tasks that you have to complete every single day. And remember, this is every single day, Saturday, Sunday, every single day throughout the week. You have to complete all of these tasks. So you have to get 2 workouts per day, 45 minutes apiece. One of those workouts has to be outdoors. It has to be outside. Secondly, you have to read 10 pages of a self-help, personal development, entrepreneurship, something along those lines. You have to read 10 pages of a book. Cool thing about this 75 Hard program, when you decide to sign up and get going with this program, they have a 75 Hard book, all right? It pretty much takes you through Andy Frisella's story, how he got going, all his trial and tribulations, and it goes through some of the experiences of all the other people that have gotten through 75 Hard, through each phase of the 75 Hard program. It's a really dope read. So if you decide to sign up and do that 75 Hard program, I highly recommend that you get the book as well. And you start your reading off with that. Next, you have to take a progress photo every single day. Now, for a lot of people, at least from what I've seen and who I've talked to, this is probably one of the harder tasks to get done. Not because it's very, very difficult to do or anything like that, but taking those photos, you can't lie to yourself. In other words, the film doesn't lie. The photos won't lie to you. So you take those photos every single day. Next, you have to follow a diet of some kind. Also, you cannot cheat on that diet, and you cannot have any alcohol. All those tasks every single day for 75 days straight. If you miss a day or you miss a task, you have to start over at day 1. Now, I want to be honest with you guys. 75 Hard took me 2 tries. All right, the first try I got through, I think I got through 26 days. Then the second try, I got through the whole 75 days. And I just kind of want to give you guys my experience, because those of you who are getting ready to boot yourself up for this, you're gonna want to know these things, and you're gonna want to prepare yourself for it, because this is not no cookie cutter program. All right, this isn't just a weight loss program. And if any of you out there are going into this strictly for weight loss, I don't know how far you're gonna make it, if I'm being brutally honest. That's not me judging you as a person, but this program is designed for more than just weight loss, at least in my opinion. This is an opportunity for you to change your whole life around and to actually see what you're made of. Because we never know what we're made of until we actually put ourselves to the test. Until we put ourselves in that fire, we really don't know who or what we are. You know, until then, we can kind of make up any type of image, but once it comes to putting ourselves in those challenging situations and putting ourselves in that fire, then that's who we see who we're actually are and what we're actually about. So let's start out with the first attempt at 75 hard. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I jumped into 75 hard really to be like, oh yeah, like I'm doing 75 hard, because I ain't gonna lie, like the people who got through 75 hard, you know, some hardcore people. So I was like, yeah, man, I want to look hardcore. I'm gonna get through it. And that explains why I failed the first attempt at it. Just wasn't prepared at all to really stretch myself for the 75 days. And when I got to like day 21, and mind you, you know, I failed at day 26 first attempt. I got to day 21. I was like, man, I don't see myself finishing this. I'm gonna take it as far as I can, but I don't see myself finishing it, just because my mind for this particular program for the first attempt just wasn't in the right place for it. You know, it's not making any excuses. You know, you can point the finger at a whole bunch of different things, but I just didn't plan the right way for it. I just didn't plan for it. And when you don't plan, you know, you increase your chances of failing, and that's what happened. But I got right back on it. I failed like on a Saturday it was, and I was like, you know what, on Monday I'm jumping right back on it, and we're gonna take a different approach at this. And I didn't focus so much on looking hardcore or anything like that. I just focused on every single day, every single task. To be honest with you, the training was the most simple. I don't want to say easy, but it was the most simple, only because I was used to working out like that prior to the challenge. So that necessarily wasn't the issue when it came to this particular program. Now, the challenges came when it came to reading the 10 pages. At the time, I was like, man, I'm not an efficient reader. I don't like reading like that. What am I gonna read? What's gonna keep my interest and stuff? Because all the books that we read in school, in middle school, high school, I hated those books with a passion. To Kill a Mockingbird, Great Gatsby, like I didn't like any of those books. But it showed me, this program at least, showed me that I can be an efficient reader. I just have to read things that are of my interest. So I started reading different books. I started getting more comfortable with reading, and I actually got excited for some of these books and finishing these books. So throughout the entire program, I believe I have finished 4 to 5 books, which is more than I've read in the past 3 or 4 years. I hate to say, but you know, throughout that 75 day, I have finished the 4 to 5 books, which is awesome. You know, and I've learned a lot, of course, reading some of the books that I've read, 75 Hard being one of them, You by Eric Thomas, that was another book that I read, The Unforgiving Race of Winning by Tim Grover, just to name a few. I can be here all day naming those books and talking about them, but yeah, so the 10 pages was probably the hardest to get used to, just because I'm not used to, or I wasn't used to reading those books at the time. But now I'd say I can become an efficient reader as long as I'm reading something that's interesting to me, and those self-help books and entrepreneurship books and the personal development books are right up my alley. So now getting into the gallon of water a day, the only thing that was probably the most challenging thing, and I'm pretty sure anybody who's had experience with drinking a gallon of water a day or close to it, is you run to the restroom a lot all day. So my tip to every single person out there, if possible, see if you can get your water in earlier in the day. Get majority of your water in earlier in the day, so you're not having to drink your water later in the evening and all of a sudden you're up all night pissing and going to the bathroom all the time, okay? Yes, you're gonna be going to the bathroom all the time anyway. I think it's kind of inevitable, but if you can, keep those earlier in the day, I think you'll be better off, all right? But you have that gallon of water. For me, it wasn't too much of a challenge unless I didn't plan the water. Like if I didn't get my water in earlier in the day, man, it was hard to finish it later on in the nighttime. And of course, waking up a few times, you gotta go to the bathroom. You wake up in the morning, you gotta go straight to the restroom. You can't do nothing without having to take the bathroom break first. So make sure that you get that water in earlier in the day. Now going with the progress photos. Progress photos, make sure that you take those every single day. That's probably one of the easiest things to forget. I know I've almost forgotten the progress photo a few times. Set a time, make sure it's at the same time every single day. I think you can increase your chances of forgetting that portion if you take them at different times. So for me, my time was to take it early in the morning. First thing I wake up, I get there, use the restroom, brush my teeth, whatever. I would take the photo right there. Boom, that first task is out the way. Ready to rock and roll, and then we're tackling everything else. So make sure you take those progress photos. I recommend taking them at the same time every single day. But whatever works for you, as long as you get them, I think you'll be good for that. Now, following that diet and not cheating on that diet and not having any type of alcohol. Now, the no alcohol portion for me wasn't a challenge at all. I'm not a big drinker anyway, so it wasn't too much of a challenge there. But when it came to following the diet and when it came to not cheating on that diet, for me, man, it became hard a lot of times. I was, doing good throughout the week, and then there'd be a few days within every single week where I'm like, man, I just want something sweet. And I got the biggest sweet tooth, cookies and all that stuff. I wanted it, but during this challenge, I was like, nope, no sweets. We're getting rid of all of that. I can't have no sweets. So if I did need something sweet, it would be like some fruit, or it'd be, a healthier alternative or something like that. But I couldn't have any sweets throughout this entire program. And that was probably one of the hardest things. And this is where Andy Frisella in the book, throughout the 75 Hard program, he talks about, once again, excuse my French, your boss voice versus your bitch voice. All right, you got that bitch voice who is negotiating itself, saying like, oh, you can have the sweets. You don't have to read today. You don't got to work out 2 times. You good. You all right. Then you got the boss voice saying, you know what? Nah, we're getting this done no matter what. Screw you. I'm getting this done today. All right. I will not fail today. So that right there, seeing that happen pretty often throughout this, program, until I got to about, until I got over, like day 50, it became a little bit easier to manage. But in the beginning, man, it was tough. It was tough. So those of you who are thinking about trying out this program, there's gonna be a few things that you see about yourself and about the program and about life in general. Challenges and barriers, they're gonna be every single day. There's never gonna be a perfect day. Of course, you're gonna have a few days here and there where everything lines up perfectly. Your routine is going directly with the task. You don't have to maneuver everything to get those tasks done. But majority of those days, the days aren't going to be perfect. Things are going to get changed up, which means you're going to have to change your schedule up, which means you're going to have to change this, that, and the third just to get that task done, and so on and so forth. You might be up later trying to get your 10 pages in. You might have to get up earlier just so you can get that second workout in or that first workout in. You might have to start actually planning your meals out, to actually make sure that you're sticking to your diet. There's a whole bunch of things that you're gonna have to maneuver and get around. I don't wanna say give up, but you're gonna have to maneuver. You're gonna have to switch up. You're gonna have to jump over just so you can get those tasks done. And this is life, right? Whether your fitness journey is super important to you, whether you're starting a business, whatever it is, there's certain things that you cannot do. There's certain things that you just can't negotiate yourself out of, especially if you're serious about being successful within that thing. If your fitness journey is important to you, you can't be eating out every single day. Out of moderation, yes, but you gotta have a structure to what you're doing so you are maintaining and you are reaching your fitness goals. If it's a business, there's certain things that you just can't do if you're really trying to make sure your business is thriving. And this 75 Hard program shows you that every single day. Doesn't matter that you're having a bad day. It doesn't matter that work went over the time that you normally would get off. It doesn't matter that this went on or that went down. You have to get these tasks done today. You have to make sure that these things are done. And that's probably the biggest takeaway for me. And I had a problem with that. I was consistent in some areas of my life, but there was some other areas over here that I wasn't consistent with. Like I do it and sometimes I wouldn't. And this program showed me that we can't waver at all, regardless of what's going on. We cannot waver. We cannot negotiate ourselves out of this because we want that end goal. We want that. So we cannot get rid of this goal. We cannot negotiate ourselves out of it. So don't just think of this as a weight loss transformation. Yes, you are going to see some results, but this is more about challenging yourself mentally, challenging yourself spiritually, and seeing what you're actually made of. You don't just want to talk about it, you want to be about it. This program is going to show you a lot about yourself. You're going to have to face all of the things that you didn't want to talk about, that you didn't want to face. You're going to have to see all that in the beginning. And that's where that bitch voice is really loud. Because even though you don't like those things, all the flaws that you have, you don't like those things, a lot of us find comfort within those things. Like, it's easier to sit and kind of hide them than it is to try to change them. And speaking from experience, in the beginning, that was the toughest thing. Being a coach, being a trainer, everybody on the outside looking in looks at you on this certain pedestal. And then during this challenge, I had to face like, oh man, I'm not practicing everything that I'm preaching to these people. And I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of being fraud or being somebody that I'm not. I don't like that feeling. I always pride myself on being a stand-up guy, and that right there showed me like, man, am I not being stand-up? Am I not being for real? So if you're wondering if you should do 75 hard, I'm gonna tell you yes. But don't think it's gonna be this easy cookie cutter thing, because it's not. Prepare yourself to go through the fire. Prepare yourself to go through all the bad stuff, because this challenge is not for the weak. This challenge is not for the people who just want to have a weight loss transformation. This challenge is for the people who are really wanting to make themselves better, who are really trying to improve themselves in all facets of life. And then you'll realize that being physically fit, the weight loss transformation, is actually just a byproduct. What you're actually aiming for, something way higher on that list. And that's being mentally tough. That's knowing who you are as a person, being confident about who you are, and most importantly, setting a goal, never wavering from it, and getting to it no matter what. Bad day, rainy day, stormy weather, doesn't matter. You gotta get to it no matter what. If you guys have any questions about 75 Hard, you can ask me here personally. You can leave them down in the comments below. But those of you who want to change your own life, want to make that complete 360, this could be the thing that you need to get you there. The mindset can be totally different. Emotionally, you could be completely different. This program isn't something that you just give a try to. This is something that you either do or you don't. Thank you guys for tapping into this video. Shout outs to Andy Frisella and his team for putting this program together and having it be as big as it is now, helping individuals such as myself. As much as it's helped me, I know it can help this person watching this video. So make sure, before you jump into 75 Hard, ask yourself, are you committed to getting through each day, no matter what? And if the answer to that is yes, then I say to you, there's only one way to find out. Make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with somebody who's thinking about doing 75 Hard. You guys have a super fantastic day. I will see you guys soon. Let's go. Let's go.